Does the name Jean-Paul Getty ring a bell? At one point, he was the richest man on planet Earth, an American oil tycoon. But he was perhaps most famous not for his business dealings, but for his refusal to pay a $17 million ransom after his grandson was kidnapped in Rome in 1973. The kidnappers soon realised, though, that love wasn't high on Grandpa Getty's agenda, so they lowered their demand to $3 million, and they sent a lock of his grandson's hair and a slice of his ear in the post with threats of worse to come if he didn't pay up. He reluctantly agreed to pay $2.2 million because, of course, that was tax deductible, and then he lent his son the other $800,000 at 4% interest. This was a very reluctant payment of a ransom to redeem the life of his grandson from some very powerful enemies. But what about the ransom that is required to redeem every person from the most powerful enemy of all, the enemy of death? How much would be enough to ransom us from death itself? Psalm 49 addresses this very question, and in verses 7 to 9 it says, "No man can redeem the life of another or give to God a ransom for him. The ransom for a life is costly. No payment is ever enough that he should live on forever and not see decay." If you take the time to read this whole psalm, you will see that it's addressed to all the people of the world, both the high and the low, the rich and the poor, because death is a fate that is common to all people. It is the one great leveller in life. Some of the super rich in our generation think that they might be able to cheat death in the end. Some have already had their bodies frozen in the vain hope that someday scientists will come up with a solution to death and that their brains can be rebooted and somehow their bodies will be resurrected. This search for a solution to death in the realm of science or technology, it will never be found, because death is not merely a physical problem, the result of accident, disease, or aging. Ultimately, death is a spiritual problem, and its root is a sin that is ingrained into our human nature from our very conception in our mother's womb. So is there no hope then? Is there no one to pay a ransom for our lives? Are we doomed to death without hope? Thankfully, there is hope. And this psalm points us to that hope. In fact, our only hope. It rightly says that no matter how much wealth a person has, it will never be enough to offer for God for his own life or for the life of any other person. No payment is ever enough that he should live on and not see decay. But in verse 15, we see the hope that we've been waiting for. And incredibly, it states that God, yes, God himself will redeem my life from the grave, and he will surely take me to himself. No man could pay that ransom to God, because there wasn't a man or a woman on this earth without sin. No one was able to offer an acceptable ransom because everybody needed to be ransomed. But as we read yesterday in Matthew 20:28, Jesus reminded his disciples why he had come into this world. The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and listen to this, and to give his life as a ransom for many. This is the absolute heart of the gospel message. This is why Jesus came. God sent Jesus Christ, his own Son, who willingly gave his own life on the cross to pay the ransom for your life, to free you from the tyranny of death. Peter puts it like this: "For you know that it was not with perishable things such as silver or gold that you were redeemed from the empty way of life handed down to you from your forefathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, a lamb without blemish or defect." Sure, your body may die, but he died to redeem your life from everlasting death. As the psalmist says, that you, your essential self, should live on and never see decay. He says that God will redeem your life from the grave, and surely he will take you to himself. This is the hope we have as Christians. Our bodies may die in this world, but as the Apostle Paul put it when he was speaking about death, absent from the body, present with the Lord. Are you still living your life under the tyranny of death, fearful for the future, unsure of where you will spend eternity? Jesus paid the ransom for your life on the cross so that you might live with him forever. This is the free gift of eternal life that he offers to you today. I urge you today to put your faith in him, to ask him for forgiveness and for his free gift of eternal life. He paid your ransom. So why are you still a captive?